Have you found her?
Huh?
Hey, Grace. We were riding to the vicarage and Atlas bolted without warning. She's not that good a rider yet, and I'm afraid she might have become unseated. And what with that pack sounding so close and angry?
Persephone!
She's not answering.
We need to find the pack!
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, Your Grace.
Persephone! Yeah! Yeah!
Everything changed in a single heartbeat. What should have been a peaceful morning ride became the most terrifying moment of Persephone's life. One frightened horse, one violent fall, and suddenly she was trapped deep inside the forest with no way to escape. Injured, alone, and surrounded by a danger she could neither see nor outrun, she was forced to face a terrifying question. Would anyone find her before it was too late? But while Persephone struggled to survive, Adam was about to make a decision that would reveal exactly who he was. He didn't stop to measure the danger. He didn't hesitate. He only knew one thing: he had to bring her home. Chapter 25 isn't simply about an accident. It's about courage when fear takes over, loyalty when every second matters, and a rescue that quietly changes the relationship between two people forever. And just when everyone believes the nightmare is finally over, one unexpected discovery raises an even bigger question. What if this terrible accident wasn't as simple as it first appeared? The morning begins with an unusual feeling of peace. After everything Persephone has experienced in recent days, the fresh countryside offers a welcome escape from the worries that have been filling her mind. The castle, with all its responsibilities and expectations, suddenly feels far away. For the first time in days, she allows herself to believe that perhaps life is finally becoming calmer. She decides to ride beyond the castle grounds, hoping the quiet roads and open fields will give her time to think. Riding has never been her greatest strength, but she has improved enough to feel confident. She knows she still has much to learn, yet she refuses to let fear control her. Every lesson has made her stronger, and today seems like another chance to prove that she is capable of standing on her own. Those around her exchange cautious glances as she prepares to leave. They know she is still gaining experience, and although no one openly questions her decision, there is an unspoken hope that the ride will be short and uneventful. The horses appear calm, the weather is clear, and nothing suggests that danger is waiting just beyond the trees. For a while, everything goes exactly as expected. The steady rhythm of the horse's footsteps fills the quiet road. Gentle wind moves through the branches above her, and the peaceful landscape almost makes her forget the troubles she has carried for so long. She begins to relax. Her shoulders loosen. Her breathing becomes slower. It is the kind of morning that makes the world feel safe. Then, without warning, that feeling disappears. The horse suddenly jerks its head upward. Its ears pin back. Its breathing changes. Before Persephone has time to understand what is happening, the animal bolts forward with explosive force. The reins tighten painfully in her hands as she desperately tries to regain control. She speaks calmly, hoping her voice will settle the frightened horse, but nothing reaches it anymore. Panic has completely taken over. The quiet path becomes a blur of trees, rocks, and flying leaves. Every second carries her farther from the castle. Farther from help. Farther from anyone who might hear her cries. She fights to stay balanced, but the horse only runs faster. Branches scrape against her sleeves. Low limbs force her to duck. Her heart pounds so violently that she can barely think. She knows one mistake could throw her to the ground. Back at the estate, time begins to pass. At first, no one worries. Then minutes become longer than expected. One servant notices she has not returned. Another quietly asks if anyone has seen her. Within moments, concern spreads through the household. Adam overhears the conversation and immediately senses that something is wrong. He asks when Persephone was last seen. The answer is enough to erase every trace of calm from his face. She should have returned by now. Without waiting for further discussion, he orders several riders to prepare their horses. Search parties leave through different gates, each taking a separate route in hopes of finding any sign of her. Adam chooses the forest trail himself. Something deep inside tells him that is where he needs to go. As he rides, his eyes examine every detail. Fresh hoofprints. Broken twigs. Marks in the soft earth. Nothing is too small to matter. Then he notices something that makes his stomach tighten. The tracks suddenly become uneven. The horse had not been running normally. It had been fleeing. From what? Adam follows the trail at full speed, refusing to slow down despite the rough ground beneath him. Every passing minute feeds the fear he refuses to speak aloud. He tells himself Persephone is strong. He tells himself she will hold on. But hope becomes harder to protect when the forest begins to answer with a sound that chills everyone who hears it. A distant howl. Then another. Then several more. The riders exchange uneasy looks. This is no single animal. It is a pack. Adam grips the reins more tightly than ever before. He has searched these woods many times. He knows exactly what those voices mean. If the wolves have found Persephone first, every second now could decide whether this search ends with relief, or heartbreak. The forest seems to grow darker with every passing minute. Persephone forces herself to stay awake, even though the pain in her ankle becomes sharper each time she tries to move. She reaches for the nearest tree and pulls herself upright, but the moment she puts weight on her injured foot, a wave of pain shoots through her body. She stumbles back to the ground, breathing heavily as she realizes she cannot escape on her own. She looks around, hoping to recognize the path she had taken only minutes earlier. Every direction looks the same. Thick trees surround her. Fallen branches cover the ground. The silence feels unnatural, as if the forest itself is waiting for something to happen. Then she hears it again. A low growl. Closer than before. Her heartbeat quickens. She grips a broken branch lying beside her, fully aware that it would offer little protection against a wild animal. Even so, holding on to something gives her the strength to fight the fear threatening to overwhelm her. She refuses to surrender without trying. Far away, Adam refuses to give up the search. Every clue leads him deeper into the woods. Fresh hoofprints suddenly disappear where the ground becomes rocky, but another sign catches his attention. A piece of torn fabric hangs from a thorn bush beside the trail. He climbs down from his horse and carefully removes it. He recognizes it immediately. It belongs to Persephone. His concern turns into urgency. She came this way, he says firmly, already climbing back into the saddle. The riders follow without question. No one speaks. No one wastes a single moment. The distant howls grow louder. Each one reminds Adam that time is slipping away. Meanwhile, Persephone hears movement among the trees. Leaves rustle. Branches crack. She holds her breath. A pair of glowing eyes appears between the shadows. Then another. Then another. The wolves do not rush toward her. Instead, they move carefully, watching her every movement. Their patience is almost more frightening than an attack. They know she cannot run. Persephone slowly backs away until her injured leg gives out beneath her. She falls again. The branch slips from her hand. For one terrifying moment, she believes this is the end. Then another sound breaks through the forest. Galloping hooves. Fast. Determined. The wolves lift their heads. Adam bursts through the trees with the search party close behind him. Without hesitation, he places himself between Persephone and the pack. His horse rears as the wolves hesitate, uncertain whether to advance or retreat. The air becomes painfully still. No one moves. No one speaks. Only the growling of the wolves fills the silence. Adam refuses to look away. He keeps his attention fixed on the leader of the pack, waiting for its next move. The riders behind him spread out, making themselves appear larger while remaining ready to protect Persephone if the animals attack. For several endless seconds, nothing happens. Then the wolves slowly begin to retreat. One by one, they disappear into the forest until only silence remains. Adam immediately climbs down from his horse. He kneels beside Persephone, gently checking for injuries. "You don't have to be afraid anymore," he says softly. "You're safe." Hearing those words finally breaks the fear she has been holding inside. She tries to answer, but exhaustion overwhelms her. Adam catches her before she loses consciousness completely. Seeing the swelling around her ankle, he knows she cannot ride home alone. Without hesitation, he carefully lifts her into his arms and carries her back to his horse. Every movement is slow and deliberate, making sure not to cause her more pain than she has already endured. The journey back to the castle feels far longer than the ride into the forest. No one speaks unless necessary. Everyone understands how close they came to losing her. When the castle gates finally come into view, servants rush outside after seeing the riders return. Relief quickly turns into alarm as they notice Persephone's condition. Doors are opened. Rooms are prepared. Fresh bandages, hot water, and blankets are brought without delay. The household moves with remarkable speed, each person doing whatever they can to help. Adam remains beside Persephone while her injuries are examined. He quietly answers every question about what happened in the forest, but his attention never leaves her face. He watches for every sign that she is improving, unwilling to leave until he knows she is truly safe. As the physician begins treating her ankle, encouraging news finally arrives. The injury appears serious, but it is not beyond healing. With proper care and enough rest, she should recover. A wave of relief spreads through the room.